It's the city. Live from Sacramento City Hall, it's the SacVibes podcast.
Hello. It is January 8th, 2025, and I'm Danielle from the CE team, and you're chilling with SacVibes, the local government podcast where we educate, engage, and empower residents from the city of Sacramento.
What's up, everybody? I'm your co-host, Lynette.
And I'm Greg. How's everybody doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And we also have some new faces, so I'm going to look this way.
Who are you people?
Hey. I am Tina Lee-Vogt, the city's nighttime economy manager.
And my name's Dustin Hollingsworth. I'm the Assistant Director of the Department of Convention and Cultural Services here at the city.
Hello, Tina and Dustin.
The second
Welcome.
best department
Yes.
in the city of Sacramento outside
Right, economic development.
Absolutely. No, absolutely not. We're the best.
And so,
thank you guys for joining
before
us.
we get started, I'm just going to quickly go over what we're going to talk about today. So, as y'all can see or hear, Tina and Dustin are here with us to talk about their departments and their projects. We also have Lynette to talk about our council updates. But first, I just want to go around asking everyone, how was everyone's New Year's?
We made it.
Yeah.
Yay.
Hey, I had a great New Year's. We did a East Coast celebration in Old Sac. Our department sponsored it, and city overall sponsored it.
Oh, that's why it was
amazing.
early.
Yeah. It was really targeting a family-friendly environment
Yeah.
to make sure families could come out, enjoy it, and then get home safely. You know, a lot of families don't want to have their kids out driving on the freeways after midnight and things like that. So it was an amazing experience. We brought it back, and we hadn't had fireworks and everything in Old Sac since 2019. And it was just
Yeah.
great. It was really a good way to bring back the New Year.
Did you fill up the place? We walked by there earlier.
It was
but we didn't
packed.
stay. It was
Yeah,
packed.
it was packed.
Nice.
Oh, I wanted to go so bad. I was in office New Year's Eve.
Yeah, our
I should
partners.
just walked over.
I snoop on people's social media. I felt like were you in Vegas?
I was in Vegas after New Year's Day, but I celebrated the New Year in Vegas, and it was great. So there was still some remnants of New Year's in Vegas, but it was a really good time. And New Year's is always a really big time in the nighttime economy, so it seemed to be a really great night with the event in Old Sacramento. Our office always sends out a know before you go so that people understand how to party safely with some really great tips. And so we were able to make sure people went out, had fun, made it home.
Made it home. Absolutely.
The most important thing.
So what about you, Greg? What did you do?
Man, it's like all a blur. I did a lot of eating.
You did it right.
Oh,
You had so much fun, it's
gosh.
all a blur.
I hope you weren't driving.
No.
Okay.
I did a lot of eating.
Okay.
Not a lot of drinking, though. Just
Okay.
eating. A lot of traveling. We went to Seattle. Came back on Christmas Day, and then we did New Year's down here. We just went to a friend's. Oh, I DJ'd New Year's Eve at a friend's
DJ
house.
Greg.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
It was like last minute too. Like, hey, you want me to bring my equipment over? Like, yeah, sure, why not? I just had a whole party. it turned into a full party, so it was cool.
I just thought it was so funny. Like, oh, by the way, I DJ'd. Like, oh, I forgot about that.
Right.
Yeah, I always did.
I guess that's the benefit of having a friend that's a DJ.
Oh, yeah.
You get free service.
It was so bad that they all got tired dancing, and I kept playing hits. I'm like, hey, stop! I can't control my body. Keep dancing.
What about you, Danielle?
Mine was very quiet, which I don't mind. Like how you were kind of explaining, no one wants to be out by midnight. I didn't either. So I was posting on social media, "Happy New Year's" from like my bed. 'Cause, like the moment it hit midnight, I was like, okay, I have no obligation to be up anymore. Time to knock out.
Yeah.
So it was good. We made bossam, which is like it's like Korean boiled pork.
Okay.
So very good.
That
I ate a
sounds good.
lot. I think for New Year's, almost at Thanksgiving. Yes.
It
How
felt
about
like
you?
Thanksgiving because you had eaten so
Oh
much.
yeah. Oh yeah. Christmas, New Year's, I ate hella.
Guess why she was in bed? She was sleepy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really like the holidays. I'm the Grinch, and I think it spilled over to the New Year's.
Yeah.
So I'm one of those people that don't respond to the Happy New Year's text. I hate them. I'm like, please stop sending me the like if they don't say like Lynette,
It
if
is
my
not
name's
a Happy New Year.
You're not getting a response from me. But
Note to self.
I know.
but me and my daughter, we just stayed safe. Folks are so crazy nowadays, and just shout out to all of the families that were affected in New Orleans with that tragedy. And so I stayed at home. We kind of did some Netflix and my daughter is watching this Love Island.
What?
And so she has me like hooked on Love Island. And so we binge watched Love Island on Netflix.
My kids be watching the Korean zombie shows on Netflix.
Yeah, so.
See, with my daughter, we watch classic movies. So she had never seen Trading Places.
Oh,
And so we
God
watched
bless.
Trading Places, and when we watched While You Were Sleeping, so we kind of had like a little holiday theme of the movies that we watched.
This
So
is
it was
so
kinda
bad.
nice.
I don't know what either of those movies are.
Okay, girl, I gotta have you watching these movies then.
But I don't even think she was
Leyne?
born when
Yeah,
Trading
Trading
Places.
Places
came out with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
With Eddie Murphy,
Brother,
you
don't
gotta see
see.
it. But it is, I know,
So,
but it is very
like,
good.
it was taking everything I had to not start quoting lines from Trading Places.
I know,
And
I
Greg
know.
went, he's like, no, I'm doing it.
And it's allowed here.
I know.
Let me
I love
just
it.
say.
I know.
Yeah.
Merry New Year.
For all the young people, we apologize.
I apologize.
Let us have this.
But you need to go
It's
in and make
okay.
sure you have
can
your
relate
classic
to my
movies
face
down.
right now. The smile and nod.
Yeah. The millennials are like, huh?
What the heck?
I'm not even a millennial.
I know,
actually.
that's
Oh,
why
what
my
are
daughter's
you?
I'm
That's why my daughter's
Gen
an
Z.
old soul.
I
Old
can't
soul?
even keep up with all of the new terms for all the new folks. But before we hear from our guests, some quick council updates.
Big council updates.
We didn't have a lot on council. It was really one thing
Yeah.
that was big.
That was very big.
It was very big. And so, as you all know, we have a new mayor, 2 new council members. Our city manager, Howard Chan, his contract was not renewed, and so he stepped down, and we have a new interim manager who is an existing assistant city manager. So she was appointed by the council, and she will serve until we have a permanent replacement. They are doing a national search, but the new city manager for now is Leyne Millstein. And so she has a lot of experience at the city of Sacramento. She's been here over 20 years. Her background is really in finance. Most recently, as an assistant city manager, she was over our finance department, cannabis, and then also our human resources department. And I said human resources and not HR because we have a thing, pie in the face, if you say an acronym and you don't explain what it is. So I'm just trying to
I
give
didn't
our
even think
guests
about that.
heads up,
Oh.
no
Thank you.
acronyms.
Okay.
She is also over information technology,
Information technology,
which is
absolutely.
IT.
IT, absolutely.
Now that we've
So
explained.
you're on it, okay. And so congratulations to her. We are facing a really, really challenging budget, $77 million deficit. There are contract negotiations happening with a couple of our big labor unions. And so just having someone with background and experience, as the new mayor said, that understands the backwards and forwards of the city of Sacramento, they selected her. And so we are all in support of her and looking forward to just getting through these challenging times. But, you know, life goes on, and so does the nighttime economy. So
The nighttime, what?
nighttime.
Nighttime and social economy, because
And
things
social.
happen 24/7 in
Okay.
Sacramento.
So,
And something I learned too, entertainment services is different. So we'll learn more about that division as well, not just nighttime
Yep.
economy.
Yep.
so Tina, nighttime, Dustin, entertainment. Tina, do you want to tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do?
So I am the nighttime economy manager, and it's a new position. Really, it's a position that only about a handful of cities around the country have. If you go west of Texas, there's only 3: Sacramento, Seattle, and San Francisco. And what our office really does is we're the liaison for working with multiple departments to make sure that we have a safe and vibrant nighttime and social economy. So our role is really to be a resource to business, to make sure that they're successful. We're a liaison with the community and neighbors to make sure that they maintain a quality of life. And then we work closely with a lot of other departments to make sure that happens. So the reason why Dustin and I work so closely together is because it's really a partnership most closely between our office and the new entertainment services division to make sure that it all happens. I say it's an office. It used to be an office of 1. Now we're an office of 2. I also have an administrative analyst who helps me helps me, John Adair. So we really, again, try to make sure that when people go out that they have a really fun, enjoyable time. And again, more of a liaison and a resource for maintaining a really great nightlife and social economy.
And before we hear from Dustin, let me just say, Tina is like a rock star in this industry. She's like a celebrity throughout the country. Everyone knows her and everyone loves her and really like looks forward to your leadership. So I just want to acknowledge I had an opportunity to travel with you and just to see the reception that you get in this industry. People really respect you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So Dustin, what do you do?
So I am, in addition to being the assistant director of the department, I oversee
the department of who?
Of Convention and Cultural Services.
Okay.
I thought I covered that in the
maybe so.
Anyway, so I oversee the Entertainment Services Division, which was formed in July as part of the current budget process. Brand new division, and what this division has done is it took 3 different functions that operated in the city and within 3 different departments. First one is the film office, which existed in the Office of Arts and Culture, part of Convention and Cultural Services. The other one was entertainment permitting, which is currently being performed by Code. We're slowly migrating that over to our Entertainment Services Division. And the final one is special event permitting, which has come over from YPSE, or Youth Parks and Community Enrichment.
My hand was ready.
Engagement. Youth Parks Community. Enrichment. I got it right the first time. Okay. Which was brought over from YPSE. And so those 3 functions actually had a lot of overlap, and yet there wasn't a lot of consistency in the process. The people that managed those processes all communicated, but there's definitely some opportunities to improve on economies of scale, improve on processes, and to offer more transparency and consistency for the people that they serve. Briefly touching on the 3 things. So the film impacts, or the film division, or film portion, they serve anybody who's doing commercial filming within the city of Sacramento. It requires a film permit. And that film permit, can be anywhere from, for something for a small commercial all the way up to a major motion picture, as we had last fall coming through. Some of it takes a lot of coordination, and some of it takes just a little bit of coordination. But whether it's on private property or public property, if it's commercial filming, it's required within the city of Sacramento. It requires a film permit. But they also do a lot of outreach as well. They do some grants. In fact, one of our grantees is up for a Sundance Film Festival award. Super excited about that. Yep. And we've got huge impact also from the film office. Last year we issued over 375 permits. Since 2020 we've issued over 375 permits. Had 2,801 local hires for these filming opportunities, and over $14.3 million in Sacramento spend. So the film office does have pretty big economic contribution. Next one is special events. So any event that happens on public property, city-owned property, it requires a special event permit. And that can be anything from a parade, a festival. What we did in Old Sac, even though the city was helping put it on, we still had to have it permitted through the special event permit process. And to give you an idea of the growth that we've seen in special events, in going back to 2019, we had just over 1,000 special event permits. The year before that, in 2018, it was 924. As you'd expect, in 2020, that number dropped down significantly. But we're already, in 2022, there were 790 permits issued. 2023, there were 1,300 permits issued. And we've blown way past that in 2024. I don't have the exact numbers of our final numbers for 2024 just yet, but we were well above that 1,300. So you can see the desire for special events within Sacramento has grown. Finally, entertainment permits, which, as I mentioned, is coming over from the Code Division over in Community Development Department. The entertainment permit is for businesses or property owners that want to have entertainment of any kind on their property. Typically the things that fall within that range, the first thing you think of is, okay, if I'm going to have a band, or if I'm going to have a live, anything live, or maybe even a DJ, then I need a entertainment permit. But it expands well beyond that too. It includes trivia, if you're having karaoke, all those things actually require within the city an entertainment permit if you're doing them in a commercial setting.
So I have a question. So if I want to have a band every Friday at my restaurant, is that the same permit that it would be if I'm a restaurant and I just want to host trivia every now and then? Is it the same permitting process or is it different?
It is the same permitting process, but that's one of the things actually we're going to be working on is the limited entertainment permit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Also, random question. I'm sorry, it's not very subject oriented, but does that mean the film office met Leonardo DiCaprio?
I can't speak to it.
Okay. Darn.
I can't accurately answer the
Yeah,
question. I
yeah.
don't know whether our members from the film office were able to actually meet the
Yeah.
And do you happen to know how many films have been done in Sacramento?
feature films. No, not off the top of my head.
Okay.
So let me just say, he always asks questions that people don't know the answer to. This is what Greg does. He always tries to ask something. He usually does it to me, and I'm like, I don't work in that department. He always asks me something that I have no idea. So it's just like Greg to ask you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jennifer West, our film commissioner, can certainly help pull up those numbers, but I don't have the numbers right off.
There's at least two.
We've been having
yeah.
some
Yeah.
good
There's
stuff,
well more
some
than
like
two.
really major
Yeah.
big pictures here. I know, like, I've seen how much some of the festivals have grown, the country music
Oh, yeah.
festival, and then
yeah.
there was
Oh,
like
yeah.
an R&B festival or something.
Oh, we have a ton
Soul
of events.
Collective, or
Yeah.
not Soul Collective.
Soul Bloom.
Soul Bloom.
Soul Bloom.
Yeah,
Bloom.
Aftershock, Golden
Yeah.
Sky. We have some really great large festivals that come. And just the economic driver, like, Dustin really hit it on the head when he gave those numbers for the film office. We could probably do the same thing with special events and entertainment. And I think that's why what we do is so important, is that a lot of times people look at this as just something that's fun or social, but it really is a big economic driver in terms of employment and just funds that come into the city.
And it's all part of that social as well as nighttime economy that, is part of the reason Tina and I work together so much. As you can see, she's her efforts are 100% consolidated around promoting those opportunities within the city of Sacramento, and we're 100% behind that as well. Finding those new and creative opportunities, but then also making sure that those opportunities are in the best interest of the public and managed properly and safely, so we can go and have our next event, and we can go and have, we can be known as this destination for film, for special events, and for entertainment venues.
Well, I love that they've taken it out of code enforcement, because it shows that the city is trying to help support as opposed to just enforce, right? Because there was the perception that the city's always looking for a reason to fine you, and this kind of shows where the city is trying to create a team that will kind of walk folks through the process so that you can be in compliance, and the best way to kind of support so folks can be successful.
And I'm
So I
glad
love
that you mentioned that too, because Dustin, I know that you mentioned the limited entertainment permit, and so honestly, when I do hear about the permitting process, I feel like I have heard that the process is quite lengthy. It can be difficult to navigate, especially if you're a business person who is not familiar with the process. And so I'm curious, when you talk about the limited entertainment permit, is that like, so is it in an effort to make it easier for folks to have these events and stuff like that, or?
So the limited entertainment permit specifically applies to permitting for private property on entertainment entertainment venues is really what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
It's twofold. One of it is to slightly reduce the requirements going forward within an entertainment venue in order for them to get their entertainment permit. But it's really targeting that niche of businesses that may want an entertainment permit, but don't really need it. It's secondary in nature to what they do. So it is for those people, those restaurants that maybe want somebody playing, guitar and singing and a little bit of amplified sound while they have their guests eating at their restaurant. It is for those other kinds of places, say a coffee shop that wants to have just a bit of entertainment, but it's not the core of their business. And that's the difference between the entertainment permit and the limited entertainment permit largely. The limited entertainment permit has some other, restrictions on it as well that don't necessarily make it right for everybody, but we're certainly going to be looking for the opportunities where it is right for people. It's a little less of a permit process to go through. and it's at a bit of a cheaper price point as well.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to understand that the limited entertainment permit is really to kind of find that balance and also provide opportunities for more entertainment in different spaces, because right now much of our entertainment is in the core, it's in the central city, because it's bars, it's restaurants, but we also want to make sure to expand so that if you want to have a band in South Sac, or you want to do something in Oak Park, you could have that band perform, because we have a lot of performers who are looking for spaces, but because of the restrictions related to getting an entertainment permit, they don't have those opportunities. So by providing more spaces throughout the city, then you can have those opportunities also for our performers as well. And so that's another big benefit. And I had an opportunity to talk with a council member that isn't representing the core, District 4. And it was really interesting, because I think what we want people to know is that it's more than the core, that it's more than just something that's in the central city, that we can have entertainment be available.
Yeah, I like the fact that you're not having folks have to go through the same process to do something that's not their main thing, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Having entertainment on the side, it makes it easier for folks to...
Than being Harlow's, right?
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
I'm a restaurant and I want to have a band every 4 or 5 months, do I have to go through what Harlow's has to go through? And that's what they do, is entertainment 24/7.
yeah, and that was the explanation I used to use. It's like, especially like, you're not Faces. You're not some venue that has like 1,700. So even with the limited entertainment permit, it is designed for smaller venues. We're looking at something that's, 299 occupancy or less. As Dustin said, it's a secondary something that you do. So it's not for someone who's trying to be a nightclub. It is really for someone who's just looking to add to their business. And it is known that if you have some kind of entertainment element, that people stay longer. So if you have a band playing, or if you have a DJ playing, someone might get that second drink, or they might stay for dessert where otherwise they might have left. So it really does help a business be able to increase their revenue by having that entertainment option available.
The other thing it does is it adds to what we refer to as the venue ladder here in Sacramento. Our office had done a study, or the Office of Arts and Culture had done a study of the Sacramento music scene. And one of the things that was noted is that there's this gap in the venue ladder for a musician who wants to, grow up in the Sacramento scene, so to speak. And, on the lower end of the spectrum, there aren't a lot of places for them to go get that weekend work, to go, play and get some experience and be able to slowly gain popularity within the area and ultimately the region. So it opens up that venue ladder. The more of these smaller entertainment venues that we have that would, be able to house or pay for that.
That's exciting. I'm a big comedy person, and we don't have a lot of venues that comedians can go to, right? And so maybe now a restaurant could open up on a Sunday or, one day, just to have some comedians, right? If you only want to have 75 people or something like that, they wouldn't have to go through that whole entertainment permitting process, right?
Exactly. Or drag brunch, because I love me a good drag brunch. So I'm really hoping that the drag brunch will just open up and expand.
So who does drag brunches for anyone that, where can you go see a drag brunch?
Roscoe's.
Okay.
And Badlands have really great drag brunches.
Okay.
So
Shout
if you
out
go
to
there,
Roscoe
they're
and
really good.
Badlands.
So those are really great to go to. And you can always go to a really good drag bingo that actually benefits nonprofits at Mango's. They do that once a month
Okay.
with the Rainbow Chamber of Commerce. So they actually offer a drag bingo. So that's actually a fun event to go to as well.
Bingo at Mango's. Has a ring to it. I can't put my finger on it.
Bingo and mangoes.
So speaking of fun, any thoughts around being able to have a cocktail in Old Sac and go from one place to another? I'm like, why is New Orleans the only place? Like,
New Orleans isn't the only place now.
So when's Sacramento gonna step it up, guys?
Well, one of the things that we are looking at is we're exploring entertainment zones. So recently there was legislation that was passed, SB 969, which expands entertainment zones. And what entertainment zones are is that, for example, let's say that you have an event and you do a street closure and you're doing a festival, and you will have a band playing and you'll have maybe a beer garden or something, and maybe you abut some restaurants. Well, those restaurants can't participate because any of their patrons, they might be able to go into their restaurant and enjoy a drink in the restaurant, but they have to stay within the perimeters of that restaurant.
Right.
An entertainment zone would allow a restaurant to be able to participate in the event. So someone could go to that restaurant, buy a cocktail, and then they could go into the event space. And so there are some criteria and some guidelines that you'd have to follow with those, but it does really open the opportunity for restaurants to participate more in those festivals and events that are at their door, but they can't really be actively involved. So unlike New Orleans, I'm sorry, Lynette, it won't be 24/7,
Okay.
but they would be done in conjunction with our special events process. San Francisco currently has it because it's interesting. When the legislation was passed previously, it was supposed to be a number of cities, including Sacramento, and then for some reason it was just San Francisco. We're really happy that the legislation opened it up statewide. But San Francisco has done a really great job. So they've done a number of different districts. They've started with like a smaller area, but they actually opened it up. And so now the area around the Chase Center is an entertainment zone so that they can participate. So we're in the initial stages, so we're working with our city attorney's office, working on language. We would need to get council approval to establish zones and the process to put it into place. But we think that there's a lot of excitement around that, and we already know there's a lot of support for doing that, especially from our property-based business improvements in districts. Okay, I redo that. It's a PBID. It's a property-based improvement district, or a PBID. So they have been really actively involved in supporting that because they really see the benefit of being able to have more businesses participate in those kind of events.
I think there's
So if you all want to see entertainment zones happen in Sacramento, contact your local council member and let them know to vote yes on entertainment zones. Contact your council member, yes on entertainment zones.
And I don't think that's going to be a problem.
I think the one thing that we see a lot of value in is the incremental approach that San Francisco took. So we can get some lessons learned because it is a bit of a change, compared to the current model. We think it's a great opportunity, but we needed to make those incremental steps, like find the right place to start it out, test it out, and really refine it, rather than going big and saying citywide, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope that this gives listeners and viewers sort of insight as to what the process looks like, because I think entertainment zones and the ability to, take a drink out and walk down Old Sac is stuff that people really want, but I think there's a lot of unknowns about what the process looks like to make that happen. Like, it's not a matter of just opening your doors and being like, okay, y'all, like, go, have fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of documents that have to happen, planning, all those people to talk to. And so, yeah, thank you for explaining just what exactly y'all are doing, because I definitely had no idea just how difficult it was.
Yeah. I like the overall vision y'all have for entertainment in Sacramento. It's very promising and
Sacramento's the spot. It's the destination.
Yeah.
And we're working to make it more so.
Yeah.
And we got cannabis lounges approved
Yeah,
now.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
They'll be coming. I think a lot of
Sacramento about to turn up.
Well, you know what though? I think a lot of people kind of sleep a little bit on Sacramento, but I don't think they realize how many different opportunities there are
Yeah.
to go and enjoy things. We were talking about the festivals earlier, like Aftershock and Golden Sky. Those are huge, and those bring in so many people into Sacramento. And we have so many spots that have been around for so long. Faces is the oldest gay bar in Sacramento. It's been around 30 years. Fox and Goose is a great place if you're going to listen to local music. It's getting ready to celebrate next Friday their 50th anniversary. And so we have a lot of businesses that have been providing great entertainment for people in Sacramento. Lynette had mentioned comedy. So Laughs Unlimited in Old Sacramento has been around forever, and they've had so many, people come through there. And so there's a lot of different opportunities and places to go. And we would love to expand it to be not just downtown, not just midtown, but really so you could go and experience that if you're in Oak Park, if you're in South Sac, if you're on Del Paso, which, by the way, if you're on Del Paso, Stoney's Rock and Rodeo is where you get your country vibe. So there are so many different
salsa
places.
vibe.
Oh, yeah.
and
They
your
got
prime
it,
rib.
they got it
And your
dancing.
ribeye vibe.
Can we just
Yeah.
talk a little bit about the food there real
Is
quick?
this free advertisement?
Oh, my God. They deserve it. With the specials that they have, like $7 ribeyes or something.
Yes,
Like
$12
$12
ribeye special on Thursday. I think it's like 15 prime rib special Fridays.
I felt bad. I got the last one. You guys didn't get
It's
any.
okay.
But
Was it good?
It was so
But
good.
I enjoyed every bite.
I thought about you guys.
She gave the rest of the
Oh, like,
cat.
I'm sorry.
And you got like potatoes and some vegetables to go with it. $12. You can't beat it. Like,
No, you also know who else has a really good kitchen and you wouldn't know it? Harlow's.
Really?
Harlow's has
Really?
good food.
I've never
Harlow's
had the
has
food
very
I've
good
never had food at Harlow's.
Yeah, neither
okay.
have I.
So, I mean, so that's the thing. A lot of people don't know all the different places to go and the different things to do here in Sacramento. So it's really important to, every once in a while, just check out something new. Go outside of your neighborhood, go in your neighborhood, and find a business that you can support if they have entertainment or if they just have food. But just really go out and understand that there's so many different things to do in Sacramento that I think people aren't aware of.
When I think, leaning back to what Tina was saying about, we do have these big festivals. We have the Aftershock and we have Golden Sky, but we also have some really good events that are put on by local promoters like this 916, some other promoters that just use Sacramento and trying to find creative ways to like use space up by the rail yards in advance of it being developed and bringing more opportunities. So it's not just the big festivals. Yeah, we're known for them, but it's not just those big festivals that are part of our special event look.
Yeah. I can vouch what you were saying earlier, Tina, that there's a lot of places in Sac that people sleep on. And I lived down here in early 2000s, and I just moved back here back in 2019. Me and my wife have gone to so many different places, just checking it out because it's all new to us. I was like, wow, there's all these cool places to go to now. Because before, we had to go to the Bay Area a lot to do things. So now you don't have to go down there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your top? I want everybody's like top 3 places that you can go at night.
Sorry,
I
I'm
don't
going
go
to
out
have
at
to
night.
pass. I don't go out at night.
Oh,
I come home
You're
by
asking
8
the
o'clock.
wrong
oh
person.
who are you people?
Old.
Okay, so my favorite places. Number 1, I go hang out with my age-friendly folks at the Elk Lodge on Stockton Boulevard.
Is it lit there?
Lit.
Really?
They play like the most ratchet rap music
At the Elks?
for the 70 and up crew.
Wow.
Like, it's so funny to see these like old black folks getting it. I mean, they are on the floor getting it, and there's like
What are they
free
playing? Like
food.
Two Live Crew?
Everything. Too short. They're playing Too Short.
Oh my God.
Like
Oh
it's
God.
the music is so good. They always like have food that's like free. They they feed you. So that's one of my favorite places. On a Friday, lit Elks Lodge.
Elks Lodge. Wow.
And then the Snug. The Snug is
Snug is cool.
super sexy. I feel like you need to take your wife.
We've been there.
Okay. That's where you go with your boo. On our street. It's just sexy in there. That's the
Yeah.
best way I could describe it. It's sexy. They play like just R&B music.
Right.
So no dancing, but it's just a really chill vibe.
Aren't they one of the ones that have the holiday pop-ups during Christmas time?
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Oh,
they
okay.
do.
Speaking of,
And don't take a mug because they will put you on Facebook that you took a mug. So if they have like their holiday mugs
Right.
and they catch you taking one, they put you on blast. So
Oh,
do not
as,
take that
as you
merch.
should be. As
You should be on
be.
blast, so they will put you on blast. So
And speaking of like holiday pop-ups, so Butterscotch Den
Mm-hmm.
on
I like that place, too.
Broadway, you walked in there and you were like at Santa Claus's house. They had shit all over the damn
So true.
ceiling. I mean, they had presents and sleighs and Santa Clauses.
I
and
have a picture of it on my phone.
oh my yes, oh my
You
goodness.
have to put a screenshot of your
You have to
phone.
put a
God.
screenshot,
On
but
the
it was
screen.
it's cozy in there. They changed their drinks up by the season. You can still cook your own
Cook your own
food,
steak.
cook your own steak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you cook
grill
your
it.
own food.
That's
You buy
communal-
the steak.
Communal grilling.
You keep it communal grilling is what I
Oh,
call it.
Yeah,
And
but
you have entertainment there too.
I
So,
don't go.
so
They do.
that's your spot.
those are my 3.
So okay, so my spot.
Okay.
Because I told you I like me some drag.
Okay,
So if you want to get a good drag show,
okay.
shout out to Tearing Through You. You go to Badlands, Tearing Through You, premier drag queen. And Tearing Through You will talk about you. Because anytime I go, Taryn tears me up. So Tearing Through You at Badlands, any drag show Taryn's doing, it's great. If you want to go someplace where you really want to feel like old kind of dive bar live music, it's Torch Club. Torch
Oh,
Club has
come on.
been around for like 90 years.
Okay.
They've been just doing it, and it's a really great place. They have their Sunday sessions with the
Okay.
lab rats, pretty consistently
the
on
lab rats.
Sundays.
They're dope.
And so they're really good, and it's a really great place, and it really speaks to the resiliency of a business that's just been around for a long time and been through the ups and downs. And so Torch Club is just a really, really great place to go to as well.
And then one more.
Oh my goodness, one more. Badlands is at 20th and K, but the whole 20th and K block is really good because they have Mangoes, Lowbrows, Faces, Depot. So that's a really good little quadrant if you want to go to a few different venues in one spot. Another good spot if you're looking for blocks is 7th and K because you got Darling Aviary, you got Tiger. You got Koja Kitchen, you got Malton Mash, you got Townie. So 7th and K is a really good place to go if you're looking for like these spots where you can go and hit some places. And then 10th is K as well, where you have Dive Bar, District 30, Social. So it's kind of nice going like to the hubs.
So the place that you can do like indoor golf on K Street.
Tipsy Putt.
Tipsy
So
Putt.
Tipsy Putt, before you go down the stairs, there's a secret speakeasy.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? Where?
Like
Tipsy Putt.
you go like you're going to Tipsy Putt,
You have to say the
but
password.
there's a like a door that you would never think of, and you go in there and it's a whole little vibe. It's like a little
I've been to Tipsy
speakeasy.
Putt. I didn't know there was speakeasy.
I didn't
You
either.
gotta talk to the person at the.
Well, we've got to get you out, girl.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, sorry.
We
I
gotta
have
get
no
you out.
recommendation.
I love it. And there's also
my
a
three
little-
nighttime locations are my bed, my bathroom, my desk.
Oh no,
Oh, yeah.
there's also.
But you go to the sideshows too.
We
Outside
don't
your
talk
house.
about that here.
You're gonna get fined. You're
We don't
going
talk
to
about
jail.
that.
They just changed the rules. You're going.
PD's not
jail.
watching.
Okay.
She
So
lived
Dustin,
200
where are you
feet
talking?
from the intersection.
Let's
though.
move on to Dustin.
No,
What
they
you
can't
got
get
for
me.
us?
Yeah, I
know.
live 200,
200
feet,
feet
from
from
the
the intersection.
Because
sideshow.
spectators,
You're gonna
if
have
you
to
are
have
watching a sideshow,
Yeah.
you
Done.
going to jail.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me tell my dog loves
Dustin,
it.
so
Anyway,
what's your top three?
Yes.
I'll tell you what, Harlow's is hands down one of my favorite
yeah.
go-tos.
Okay.
It's always a good vibe. People are there, usually in a pretty good zone and a pretty good mood, regardless. And the variety of music that Harlow's puts on is just all over the board. So you can find whatever you're looking for, within a course of time. Yes, Torch Club, Torch Club
Okay.
is, and so our department, one of our department's assets is the Memorial Auditorium, and finish up a night of work and clock out for the day, and the Torch Club's always right there, open and rocking, and great opportunity right there. And then to be honest, I like to find whatever opportunity, whatever's cool and like just happening, like special events, especially. What can we do? What can we take our kids to? I've got a pretty broad range of kids, so
Oh, I
finding
don't want to take my
opportunities.
kids anywhere.
Now hold on. You started this whole podcast talking about spending New Year's with your daughter, and
At home. I'm not taking her anywhere. Okay, so where you take your damn kids, Dustin? Where you take your kids?
now I'm on the
You
spot.
got her. You
I-
got her on
I got nothing yet. Honestly, I took my youngest son to Aftershock. That was an eye-opening experience.
What?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Can I be one of your kids too? That's crazy.
No, but you know what I think is so interesting is when you talk about all the different places that we all gave examples for, there's such a wide range of different places where you can go. So whatever is interesting to you, whether it's old school, whether it's new rock, whether it's kind of classic rock, whether it's kind of a dive bar feel or just a regular live music feel, there's so many different options for you to really explore in the city of Sacramento. And so that's one of the things I hope folks really realize is just go out and explore the city.
Absolutely.
So if I'm somebody and I'm thinking about I want to do something at my business, who do I talk to? Who do I call?
I would probably say to start with our office.
Okay.
Because if you start with the Office of Nighttime Economy, what we can do is figure out what you're trying to do and then prepare you so that when you go to submit your permits with the Entertainment Services Division, you're prepared. Because one of the things we can do is help navigate and help people understand the processes so that when they go to work with Dustin and his staff, that they're ready. And so that's a big key element of our job is really helping to be a resource to make it a little smoother so that when they're ready to kind of jump in and move forward, that they're prepared.
Contact information's on the screen.
There you go. And yeah, I mean, Tina hit the nail on the head. But it's really cool how our offices work together so much. I mean, this 3 hours today we're in different meetings together.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, it's a constant thing where we're just always partnering and finding these solutions, trying to find opportunities. There isn't a solution for everything. I mean, unfortunately, our hands are tied on some things, but we're always looking for those ways and those opportunities to really make Sacramento that vibrant social economy with a really strong entertainment base.
Sorry if you already covered this, but if people want more information on like what's going on, around them, where should they go? Like website, social media accounts?
I always think SAC News and Review does a really good job. If you go online, you can find information. SAC 365 has good information. And then I always suggest that you just on social media, find a venue that you like and follow them. You'll find a lot of good information. Exactly. They'll have good promotions. So if there's a venue or something that you like, just follow folks on social media. And it helps the business too, because the more people follow them on social media, the better it is for them.
Right.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well,
and we'll be back. And we'll be back. Right?
I know. We got to get part 2 with how long this episode is.
Oh no, we'll be back.
Thank you for vibing with us.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for vibing with us.
Thank you for vibing with us, everyone.
Follow us on social media, Instagram. What else are we on? Spotify.
YouTube. Facebook. And make sure you subscribe and like
our upcoming TikTok. Can I speak it into existence so that we can do it?
You gonna do the first dance?
You're the one doing it.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll do it.
Oh,
okay. I don't think you can dance. You don't go out.
What?
You don't go out. So
you can't dance. Accepted. No, okay, no. I don't.
We're gonna have a battle. Okay. Me versus Danielle.
You gotta
first
get TikTok going now.
All righty.
Thank you again. We'll see you next time.
Bye.